Hello students, today we are going to study a lesson from your moments and the name of the chapter is The Adventures of Toto by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author of British descent. He was born on 19th May in the year 1934. He lives with his adopted family in Mussoorie, India. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He was also been awarded with Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan. The story narrates the adventures that followed after the narrator's grandfather, who was an animal lover, bought Toto, a monkey. The story begins with grandfather buying Toto from a Tonga driver for 5 rupees. Toto was pretty and looked so out of place that grandfather decided to add him to his private zoo. He, however, afraid of grandmother, who did not like him bringing home as many pets as he liked. So the narrator and grandfather brought Toto home and decided to keep him a secret from grandmother. Toto was extremely mischievous. The narrator at one point in the story writes that if there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. Toto, on his first day, ripped open the peg to which he was tied, shredded the narrator's blazer and tore up the wallpaper that grandfather had chosen for the walls. Toto was then transferred to the servants' quarters where he lived with the other pets. Usually, most of grandfather's pets got along well with each other. However, Toto kept all of them awake at night. To prevent further such issues, grandfather decided to take Toto with him to Dehradun. However, the journey was not the one grandfather was expecting. He and Toto made it through most of the trip without any incident, but at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and scared the ticket collector. The ticket collector thought Toto was a dog and charged poor grandfather 3 rupees extra. Grandmother finally accepted Toto and gave him a comfortable home at the stable. His companion was their donkey Nana. However, when grandfather came to the stable to make sure that the Toto was comfortable, he saw poor Nana struggling because Toto had jumped on her head and bitten her ears. Toto loved the warm baths that grandmother prepared for him. It was a treat for him. He would expertly check the temperature of the water and then enter the bath 1 foot at a time. Then he would soak and soap himself. Once he almost boiled himself because he did not realize that the kettle was still on the fire. He was saved by grandmother, who pulled him out of the kettle just in time. One day, grandmother had made pulao. When everyone entered the dining room, they saw Toto sitting on the table, stuffing himself with rice. He threw a plate at grandmother, who had screamed at him. He also threw a glass of water at one of the narrator's aunts. Then Toto jumped out of the window with a dish of pulao. He climbed all the way up the jackfruit tree and ate all the rice while everyone watched. Finally, to take revenge on the grandmother who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down the tree and laughed when it broke into pieces. This incident made everyone, especially grandfather, realize that they could not keep Toto for long. He was becoming very expensive for them to keep because he kept destroying things. They could not keep replacing them all the time. So, grandfather took Toto back to the Tonga driver, but he could only sell him back for 3 rupees.